everyone, it's Anna and welcome back on my channel. So today I thought I would film an update video on the seasonal series readathon, because this readathon is actually 3 months long and 2 months are already over, so I thought it would be nice to kind of have an update on what I've already read, what books from my original TBR I decided not to read, and what books I added to my TBR list. So my bingo board currently looks like this. I use little heart stickers to mark the challenges off as read. I've completed 13 challenges out of 24 already. I'm not counting the free space in the middle here, because I can use basically any book for it. I think on my original TBR I had about 6 or 7 books, but I've only read 2 of them so far. The first book from my original TBR is The Hidden Oracle by Readathon. I've read this book in the first month of the readathon and I think I gave it 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it, but because it's a middle grade, it's very good for a middle grade, but it's not quite enough to give a 5-star rating considering my reading tastes now. The second book from my original TBR was A Conjuring of Light by Victoria Schwab, or V. Schwab. And it took me so long to finally pick this book up, and I'm so glad that this readathon actually motivated me to finally pick it up. I loved it, it was amazing. I loved the characters, I very much loved the world, and so happy I have picked it up. In case you have not yet picked up any of those books from this trilogy, I really want to encourage you to do so. The first book is a little bit slower than the other 2 because the world building actually only starts in book 2. Like the whole magic system and the characters, we get new characters, new amazing characters in book 2. So in case you haven't continued yet or have not yet picked it up, it's a very good one. I obviously gave it 5 stars. The first book that I picked up that was not on my original TBR video is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. And in the beginning it took me probably 50 pages to get into the book at all, but then I picked it up during one of the reading sprints that are on Twitter every Saturday, and I picked it up during one of the last ones, like the very last sprint of the day, and I couldn't put it down, and I stayed up half the night to finish the book because I loved it. I really liked the romance and I enjoyed the characters. Of course there were a few kind of issues with the characters, a few times where I didn't understand why they would do what they did, but other than that, enjoyed it a lot. I think I gave it 5 stars as well. If not, I gave it 4.5 stars. The other book that was not on my TBR, but I decided to pick up because I got an opportunity to exchange this book for one of my other books on my shelf that I didn't really want anymore. So I got Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. And as I said, I'm already finished with this book. I think I gave it a 3.5 star rating as well. I'm not too sure. With this one, it took me 120 pages to get into the story. I don't know why, it just didn't get me. I felt like I was reading a totally different story than I was promised from the beginning. It didn't feel like the story of the Peculiar Children that I was reading. It felt more like a story about our main character's grandfather and whether this grandfather's stories were true or not. So I was a little bit confused for the beginning of this book, but I finished it and I'm not sure yet whether I want to continue with the other books, because even though I did enjoy reading this, I am not intrigued enough to probably pick up the next one, because I have so many series that I'm currently reading and I don't think I should continue with a series that I'm not 100% sure of. So because I actually double up my challenges or even use one book for 3 challenges, I have completed 13 challenges with those books that I just showed you. In case I have not mentioned that, I did not read the physical book of The Hidden Oracle, I actually listened to the audiobook version of it. And now I thought I would show you what my current TBR for the rest of the readathon is, because we still have 4 weeks left and we will have one full week of an intense readathon, and I thought I would put 4 books on my TBR because I won't be able to read a lot, if anything, until June 1st because I have a very stressful university life right now. But then we will have this intense readathon, and I think 3 weeks should be enough to maybe get through what I have planned to. So one book that I'm planning to read is one that was not on my original TBR, and it's Scythe by Neil Schusterman. This is only the dust jacket because I'm currently reading this book actually. I'm about halfway through and I really enjoy it so far. Like at this moment I probably would rate it a 5-star. But we'll see how it turns out because I heard there would be a few plot twists. I actually already read one, so there was already one plot twist, and I think this is very good for the story building, but I'll tell you my thoughts about the book when I finish it, obviously. Then I decided to put 2 books from my original TBR on this TBR as well, because I still am interested in reading them and they are very good for my challenges. One of them is The Kiss of Deception, and I got this book for my birthday this year, which was in January, and I still have not picked it up, and I'm very excited to finally get to it. I heard great things about the trilogy, or is it a trilogy? I know there are 3 books out right now, but is that it, or are there more to come? I'm actually not sure, but so this is the first book that I am still planning to read. The other book that you've already seen is Children of Blood and Bone, which is actually on my TBR for May as well. But as I just said, I won't have that much time to read until June, if any at all, and I'm currently reading The Scythe, so I think this will be on my June TBR because I really want to read it. Like, this is one of the books that I'm very dying to read. And one book that was not on my original TBR, but I think is also on my May TBR. But again, I'm probably not gonna get to it in May, so I'm planning to read it in June, and this is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I think if I would read Children of Blood and Bone and The Cruel Prince, one of the books would not count towards any challenges. The way I planned out my challenges, these 2 are actually in the same spot, so I should read either one of those. So we'll see which one I will decide to pick up, but I actually wanted to read this one when it first came out and I still have not picked it up, so I'm very excited. And for the challenge of reading a book under 300 pages, I decided to read a novella from the Share Me series. There are 2 novellas out now, I think. One of them is Destroy Me and one of them is Fracture Me. And whichever is the first one, I have downloaded it and I'm planning to read it as well, so that I will have that challenge ticked off too. There's one challenge that I still don't have any book for because I just couldn't find anything, or I found one duology because this is the challenge of reading a duology, and realistically speaking I don't think I will finish a duology because I haven't started one yet and I have 4 books on my TBR, so I'm probably not gonna get to that. But I also don't know that many duologies. I really did struggle with finding any duology that I could read. Finally, I decided to pick up Wolf by Wolf, but I think I just don't have enough time to read it. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you how many points I have so far because I really don't know. I probably should have kept track of that, but I didn't. I will try and do that for the next seasonal series readathon. I obviously at least have 130 because I have 13 challenges completed and I don't have a bingo yet, but I've made my TBR video and I do post on Twitter every now and then, so I might be able to actually figure out how many points I have. In case I get to do that before this video is live, I might put it on the screen somewhere, but if you don't see anything, I have no idea how many points I have so far. So please go ahead and tell me in the comments how you're doing with your seasonal series readathon, how many challenges you have completed and what you realistically think you will get to do in the remaining 4 weeks. Because realistically speaking, I'm not gonna get to finish all of the challenges. It's impossible for me, even with letting one book count towards 3 or 4 challenges. It's just, there are some challenges that I cannot complete without picking another book, and I just cannot read that much. That's it from me for today, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye!